Alright guys, so I want to first start off by saying that I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a doctor. So if you guys are feeling really depressed or you guys have a lot of anxiety, make sure you seek professional help. It doesn't make you weak for asking for help. It makes you strong to know that you can't handle things on your own. It's important to realize that other people are there to help you, and it's very, very important. So before we even get into this video, that's my number one tip. Make sure you ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less of a man. If you are a man, don't think like that. It's very important to reach out to, professionals, a family member, somebody that you're close to, and let them know what you're going through. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So my goal with this video and my Mindset Mondays is to help inspire people and to help, show people that we're all humans. In my videos, most of the time you see me in an upbeat way. You guys see me doing my stuff, but behind that, that's a camera. And I think if you don't open up a dialogue to speak about things, then everything seems okay, and then people watching think everything's always okay, and it's just one of those subconscious things that happen. So I think it's very important, even though I feel a little uncomfortable speaking about what I'm going to speak about, I think I have to push past that uncomfortableness to hopefully, in hopes, reach somebody that can relate or that is feeling the way that I have felt in the past. And maybe if you use some of the things that I've used to help me, maybe it can help that person. And that's kind of my goal with this video, but as well with like the rest of Mindset Mondays. We talk about motivation, discipline, all that stuff. But yeah, let's get into today's video. So I've always struggled with depression from a really young age. Believe it or not, my younger days in school, I was not like very popular. I used to be picked on. I didn't always have the nicest clothes. I kind of came from, a family that didn't have a lot of money, so I was always wearing like kind of not the greatest stuff. And so that was a contribute to it. And then at certain points, in my life, my home life was very difficult and all that stuff. And when I was at the beginning of high school, I believe I attempted to take my own life, and that was my lowest point. I haven't really spoken to that about anybody, and obviously now I'm in a much healthier mindset and I'm not thinking that way now. But at one point I attempted to take I took a bottle of pills off of a shelf, and I didn't know what it was, and I took it, and I was done. It was my lowest point. And I remember laying in my bed, and I remember thinking to myself, I can't believe I did that. And I remember feeling, the most painful pain, that I had. And I remember thinking that, I was actually going to pass away. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like I really, really regret this. Like I just remember thinking like, wow, like, man, like, what did I do? Like, I still have so much life left, And I woke up the next day, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I woke up after all that. It was the most painful night of my life, physically. I don't know what I took, but it was just so painful. And I remember being like, oh my God, and I remember crying, and I fell asleep, and I just remember being like, this is it. Like, I can't believe I did it. And so anyway, after that, I ended up, I was like, all right, like things have to be different. Things have to be in place. And so the reason I'm explaining this is because I'm hopefully trying to prevent somebody from getting to that extreme. Now I want to talk to you about my daily routine that I had used for a very long time and have been using for a while now, that I've seen that works for me. And hopefully, if you're struggling with depression, or you've been in similar positions or in a similar position where I am now, maybe these tips can help you, or you can implement some of them into your routine. So the first thing I do is I set my alarm clock on the other side of the room, because there are some days that I just, even if I'm having, even if I got things to look forward to, I can't get out of bed. I just can't, I don't want to. My mind's telling me, not worth anything, this and that, this and the third. So I know that first thing I gotta do is I gotta get up. I gotta get up. So the way I do that is I let my alarm clock annoy the shit out of me until I have to go and shut it off. Once I go and shut it off, I then force myself to go sit at the desk next to my bed, and there I have a notebook. Now on that notebook, it varies day to day, how I'm feeling, all that stuff. Sometimes I'll write affirmations while I'm listening to them, my headphones. Sometimes I'll write, my biggest fears of why I have this anxiety and why I have this depression and what I don't like about myself and this and that, and I'll write about it, and then I go, oh, it's not so bad. Okay, so I feel a little bit better. So writing down your fears and your problems is a huge tool, and I think that's really helped me. So after that, I know getting my body moving is so important. So I make sure I have a glass of water. I have my favorite tea that I have in the morning, and I don't care if it's pouring rain. I don't care if there is, snow, whatever. I know I have to go for my morning walk. And now my morning walk will vary. It's never a set time. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. It's very dependent on how I feel. And so I know going for my walk, it's going to get, me moving. It's going to get my body feeling good. It's going to get my mind feeling good. And so what I'll do on that walk as well is sometimes I'll listen to affirmations again, and I'll look like a crazy person, and I will say the affirmations as I'm listening to them. Or sometimes I'll listen to my favorite music. Sometimes I listen to, a podcast, whatever it may be, just something that, is going to put me in a good mood. So then what I'll do is after I go for my walk, I'll come back, and I know I'm starting to feel good, but sometimes I can still feel it creeping up. So I'm very lucky in the sense of where I am an athlete. So that's why working out has been so important for me. So for me, working out, it grounds me and it gets out my depression, it gets out my anxiety and all that stuff. So, I work out for soccer, but sometimes I just call them my depression workouts. And I'll, even if I worked out, for soccer already, and I'm feeling depressed, I'll go and I'll have another workout. And, sometimes it's boxing, sometimes it's running, sometimes it's just lifting weights, whatever it may be, because I know that is going to be vital for me maintaining, my mental health and being on top of that. And then another tool that I use pretty much daily is meditation. I have learned that, being able to sit there and meditate and step away from the world is huge. It's hugely important. So whatever meditation means for you, it doesn't mean sitting there with your legs crossed and you got your arms up like that. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you have time for yourself to think, or not think. You just have time to sit there and listen to music and decompress. So that's another tip that I use. One of the biggest things I cannot stress enough is it is so important to stay away from social media, in my opinion, especially if you're, working on it and stuff. Like, for example, for me, I'm growing a YouTube channel, I'm growing Instagram pages, I'm trying to network, I'm trying to build a community and all that stuff. And so what I have done and what I've realized is that, as important it is to grind and work hard every single day with this, creating content and stuff, that it's important for me to step away. It's important for me to not answer every message that I get. It's important for me to not look at what everybody's doing. And that, I think, is something that's really hard, especially for younger kids nowadays, because social media wasn't as prevalent as it is now. When I was a kid, I'm only 21 years old, but when I was growing up, I didn't have an iPhone, I didn't have Instagram. Later I did, but in the beginning, when I was like a real kid, I didn't have that stuff. I wasn't always, subconsciously comparing myself to this person and that person and doing this and doing that and whatever. So I think stepping away from social media is huge. It's huge. Not being on it all the time, realizing that, deleting it from your phone, which I often do, at least twice a week, I'll delete Instagram off my phone. I'll delete, and other apps as well. Another tip that I think is hugely important is eating a very healthy diet. You know, for me, I try to eat as healthy as possible, you know, not only because I am an athlete, but because I notice a difference. You know, if there is, you know, a week that I don't eat as good as I normally do, it affects me. And you know, it's one of those things that I think sometimes people think it's like, oh, that's just like a, you know, some kind of like voodoo thing. But at least for me and my body, if I eat, you know, not consistently clean, then I am, you know, I can feel my depression coming. It's weird. It's just one of those things. So I've noticed the cleaner I eat, the happier I am, the better I am. So there's that too. And so, yeah, like I said, the purpose of this video, it's a quick video, but you know, listen, I know that, you know, somewhere somebody has experienced the same feelings I have had or gone through the same experiences I've had. And whether they're subscribed to this channel right now or they're not, or maybe, you know, 5 years from now, I hope that, you know, if you've ever experienced, you know, whatever, anything like me, or if you've ever felt worthless, if you've ever felt like you're not good enough, if you've ever felt like this world doesn't need you, I promise this world does need you, and I promise you that you have a lot of things to give. And no matter how dark it seems, you know, life likes to play tricks on you, and it likes to make you think that that light at the end of the tunnel isn't there. And you know, life does a really good job at making you think that it's not there. But I promise you, my friends, that if you just point that one foot in the right direction every single day, you're gonna get to that end of the tunnel, and you're gonna get there. And it's a battle. It's not easy. There's good days, there's bad days, but it's about realizing what works for you. It's about creating a routine. It's about doing the little things that are going to make you feel better, you know, in a healthy way. All right, guys, so that's gonna conclude today's video. Stay tuned for later this week. I have a very exciting video coming out and some exciting news for you guys as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for all the support. As always, we're almost to 500 subscribers, which is really awesome. So can't believe it's even gotten this big. So really appreciate it. I will see you guys next time.